Okay. Hello. I have two cameras. I'm trying to make sure only one works. Okay, I think I have it right. Okay. And I know I'm not supposed to actually do that. I'm not supposed to do that for the replay. So if people catch it on the replay, this seems like any other video. Hello, Victoria. Hi, Sophie Bug. So can you hear me and everything? I don't mean to sound like such a noob, and I apologize if I keep looking, but I can only see the chat on that screen. So I'll try not to. Awesome. Okay. And so I'm watching it on a different, or looking at a different screen where I can see the chat. And okay, thanks you, Victoria. Perfect. Okay. Awesome. Awesome. Okay. How confusing. Excellent. Well, thank you for being here. Sophie, please let me know if I'm not looking at the right camera. I meant to be looking at my phone camera, because I'm going to point that camera down to the project in just a second. That's how I have it set up. But I also have the camera on my webcam going. It's just the way this all has to work. It's kind of crazy. So yeah, okay. I'm okay. I'm looking at the right place when I'm looking this way, straight ahead. I haven't done a live stream in so long that I guess I could have done a test, but this is way more fun. So plus, we don't get such a large, audience here yet. So generally it's mostly friends that catch me here. So, okay. And I apologize, I'm looking down. I am taking apart some of the materials that we're doing for the sample. I have this bracelet in gold and silver and the samples of it. And the gold just shows up better on the camera. And so I am taking these little pieces off so I can remake it live here. And I apologize. I would have had this done, of course, ahead of time, but I was playing with all the technical things. Okay. So this will take me just a second to take apart. Hopefully everyone is okay. And I'll get some more folks in here, which would be nice. I'm happy to do this, for anyone. I love this little bracelet. I've been wearing it a lot, and I just think it's really, really a lot of fun. It's a variation of the little dancing charms piece that I did before, and just replaced the charms with the hearts, and added the little crystal dangles and things. So I thought that would be really cute. Okay, sorry, I just have a few more pieces to get off of the gold one. I would just have made this fresh instead of taking apart this little sample quickly, but in all the orders I had to fill, everybody ordered gold instead of silver, which is very highly unusual. And so I am practically out of my gold headpins. And so just redoing this one. This also, this way you don't have to watch me do, 12 basic loops. That's not very exciting. So this way, I'll just use the ones that are already done. It's so weird doing a live stream as opposed to Zoom classes where people can talk back to me. But hopefully, like I said, more people will come in here real quick. Sorry, I'm just very, very close to having this all done and taken apart. So this bracelet that I'm sure you've seen the pictures of needs a little cable link chain, which is just a chain that has alternating links. So all the links are the same, but they alternate. It's just a basic cable link. It could be round, oval, whatever, but as opposed to a link that, is maybe an oval, then a round, then an oval, and or has a pattern to it. A cable link is just a link that is the same that alternates. And so that's kind of the, I guess, main thing about this design is that you've really got to watch what link you're putting everything on so that it hangs the right way. And, there's not really any way to screw it up. It just depends how you want it to lay. And if you want it to be able to use it as a necklace, which I really love that idea, then you definitely want it to lay the correct direction. It also helps to have them, spread out just evenly. It just looks better, I think. So this, I'll go over materials real quick. I'm almost done taking these off, but it is about 6.5 inches of that cable link. The rings, jump rings, and things that go on the end and the clasp add length. So it's very easy to cut down, but you would want to have that figured out, ahead of time if you need to cut it down at all, because it just would be very difficult to adjust it later. Okay, all done. So let me I have the silver one on. And I'm going to tip the camera down in just a second, but let me just go through the materials really quick. And when I tip the camera down, you'll be able to see it a little bit better. But so there's a cable link chain. And like I said, I have about 6 inches of this. Measure it real quick. Yep. So I have 6 inches of the chain, and then the little oval link that connects it. Where's my camera? There it is. And then another jump ring and the clasp. So that adds, at least 1 inch there. So what I normally do is connect the clasp and all of that first to make sure your length is going to be good. And then we'll add all the parts. Okay, so chain, you need chain, toggle clasp. We're going to use 5 of these little. It feels so weird. My camera's here on the but I've got to move this way. Okay, so 5 of these little hearts, the small satin hearts, and 1 larger one. That's for the clasp. Then I have 6 of these little 10 millimeter twisted rings, which is the other link. I have 14 little crystals in whatever color you want to do. We're doing Valentine's, so mine's kind of red. And I have red and then like a pastel-y kind of lilac color, as well as opal that are on the ball head pins. So the chain, 5 the hearts, 6 of the little twisted rings, 14 crystals, 14 ball head pins, 9 6 millimeter jump rings, 2 4 millimeter, and the clasp. And I think that's about it, more or less. Okay. So I'm going to tip the camera down and onto the chain, and we'll get started. And hopefully it's going to show. So pardon the ride as I tip this, and then I'm going to take a second to make sure you can see this. Okay, beautiful. So hopefully you can see there what I meant by a cable link, right? So the most, it may sound kind of dumb, but the most important thing is that you can see every other link really cleanly, like a line, right? I can see every other oval link here just in a straight line. And because if I twist it even a little, so you lay it out, right? And so I've still laid the chain out, but now I can't see it in a straight line. Or you may think that you can, but it's not. You've really got to make sure it's laying really clean. And so I'm pulling on this and laying this down to make sure I can see all the links very clean. And we need to do this every time we attach so that we can make sure we're not only on the correct link, but then on the correct side of the link. If I attach something on the bottom part of it, it's going to hang one way. If I attach it on this side of it, or the top in this instance, it's going to hang another way. So it's really important that we get it on the right link and then on the right side of the link. And so what I generally do for pieces like this is decide ahead of time what side they're going to go on. So we'll call, since this is facing towards you, we'll call this side the bottom. And for this bracelet, I'm going to attach everything on the bottom side of the cable links. So like I mentioned before, the first thing I want to do, though, is attach the clasp and test the length. So if this was, your bracelet at home, I still have the 4mm jump rings on the end here, but I'm going to use the little 4mm jump ring to open that. There we go. Sorry, that closed so well I can't even see it. And I'm going to open that and attach. Oh, I'm just going to use one of the little textured links here and open these, right? I use these all the time. I love this little link. It's just really pretty. You don't have to use it. Could have just as easily used another jump ring. I just think it's really pretty. Okay, I guess there's no need to open that. So there's my 4mm jump ring, though, that's on the end. And by putting the link through this instead of the cable link, this just hangs nicer. There's more room. Then before I close that, I'm going to put on one side of my toggle clasp. Close her up. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Take another link here. And again, I use these in place of jump rings, but they're not jump rings. So what that means is that you can use them, but you can't open and close them more than a couple times or they will break, because you'll just weaken the metal because they're not made to be jump rings. I'm happy to salvage one to show you. So, or like a jump ring can be open and closed many times, but these can only be open and closed twice. By the third time, it's broke, right? Done deal. So once they're closed, they'll like this. So I don't want you to be afraid of them breaking. Once they're closed, it's very sturdy. I've never, ever had them like break on a piece. But just to be aware, they really can't be moved around a bunch. So here we have our chain with our clasp on. This would be the point that you'd want to try it on, right? And if it's too long, to cut some, take off the jump ring, right? We can undo the 4mm jump ring. We don't have to open the cable link or the oval link there. We can just open the jump ring and cut some of the chain down if we needed to, or we can add more to it if we needed it to be longer. But we wanted to test that length now because, again, there's a pattern that we're attaching everything, and you know, if you were to start attaching everything and then you needed to add more or take some off, you kind of mess up the pattern. Okay. With the clasp on there, it's a little tricky to get it to lay straight. There we go. Sorry, I'm trying to make sure I can see it from my side too. There we go. Okay, beautiful. Okay, now we have 5 of these little hearts, meaning one's in the middle, 2 are on the side, and then these little cute little twisted rings go between them all. And we're using a 6mm jump ring to attach all these. And so the first thing we're going to do is attach the middle one to make sure we're in the center. I don't really count it or anything. I just kind of eye it. But right, I'm going to open my jump ring and put the little heart on. And then I'm just going to eye this. And then I'm going to bring it up. Nope, do not have that's not the center, right? Because they are not hanging evenly. Still not. Should not have drank that wine before. Oh, just kidding. Okay. There. Okay. So, right, that's the center. These 2 halves are even, right? And so, if they weren't even, or if you had one longer, it's not really that big of a deal. I guess you could go to the trouble to cut it off. But either way, we want to make sure that sits in the center. Now, I'm going to make sure I lay this down. So this is the bottom of that link. I'm trying to make it so it's facing you, the camera. Okay, that should work. Okay. So I'm going to start putting the side pieces on, all the other little dangles and charms and things. And it's very important each of these dangles goes on a link that's also facing the same direction as the heart. And for this link, or for this particular like size, I'm going to skip 3 and put it on the 4th one. So my dangle will go on every 4th link from the center one. So meaning sorry, I'm trying to get this to look straight at you. Crazy. Okay. There we go. I think that's it. Close. So I want 3 links in between, and then my next dangle, this one, goes on the 4th one, and not only on the 4th one, but the bottom of the 4th link, right? And then the next little heart will go on the 4th one, on the bottom of that link. And the thing is, every time you put it on, you have to then lay the chain back out, each time. So there's my 4th link on the bottom of it. Then I'd have to lay it out again to make sure I've got the bottom side of the right link. Okay. Okay. And I'm going to keep going. And you can go one direction and then the other. I don't know why I kind of like to work from the middle, but I just do. So I'm going to skip 3 links. It's going to go on the 4th link on the bottom of the 4th link, which is easier when it's facing you and not away from you. So I'm going to lay it out every time. There's no magic way I know of to like pin it down or anything, because you have to pick it up to put it on each time. Okay. So we're going to attach all these. I'll try to do as quickly as I can. Upside down for me. Now, you could definitely choose to put it on like the other side of the cable instead of the same side. I prefer it on the same side for a couple of reasons, but one of the, I guess, biggest reasons is because I really like this piece as a necklace, and which I'm going to show in a second. And in order for it to lay correctly as a necklace, they have to all be on the bottom side of the cable, or on the same side of the cable, I should say. Okay. And I'm just checking every time to make sure I've got it on the right side. Now, it clearly wouldn't be any kind of, train smash or whatever if I didn't, but, we're going to go to all this trouble to make it. We might as well make sure it lays nicely, that it's all spaced properly. Okay. Sorry, I'm just always quickly counting. Just making sure it's on the right side. Okay. So Schmidt's away from me. Okay. Oops. And I use a chainstay clamp, like the ones that look like a tree, like not a tree, but a stand, and it clamps or something. I think I've seen those before, but not used them. But I could see I could see the value in it if it would just hold it like this, and then I could attach it. I see what you're saying. That, you're right. That would work. Because then it would be, hanging down. Because I can't pin it to the tray or pad because I have to keep picking it up. But I can see if it was hanging. That would work. I'm surprised there wasn't one of those in the estate sale I did. That's always everything else. Okay. Almost 1, 2, 3. Well, I'm going to attach the crystals on soon. That's not going to be that's not going to be much more exciting than this either, but it will look lovely. Okay, last ones. One, 2, 3. Okay. Sorry, half the problem is that it's upside down for me. So. I had not thought about that prior, but that's okay. I will get it done. This still won't take very long. Even though I have all the, crystals already on their head pin with the loops already made. Whoopsie, so that'll save some time. But even when you have to do the loops, it doesn't really take that much time. There we go. Okay. Yeah. And the original design of this. Oh no, I guess I do have crystals on. The one I'm wearing is almost identical, except I used the little oval charms, and I did the Fall Fantasy crystal palette as the crystals, in between. But I just love it. I just think it looks really elegant and really gorgeous. So there's the silver in the Valentine's one. And I love the big heart off the end. So I just think it's really cute, when it's dangling off the clasp. So I think it's really fun. Okay. I'm trying to get the nilly for you. Okay, so we're going to put on some crystals. I scoot more this way. Excellent. Okay, so then generally if you have the kit or a kit or whatever bead you're using, normally I recommend putting the beads are just going to go in a ball head pin. And I'm using a 4mm crystal and then just making a basic, loop, not a wrap loop. And I almost do where I'm going to figure out where I want them to go. You think this wouldn't be so hard to do upside down, but it is a little tricky. So with the red in there, I'm just alternating that red because it's such a strong color. And then the other colors are a mix of a lilac and a pink. So an opal. So whatever colors you want to use, of course. And and the other thing is to put, a couple of them, whichever ones you want, to the sides that are going to hang off the large heart off the clasp. Okay, I do that with 2 red. Oh, because one goes here, and then there we go. And then I've got 2 kind of extra ones. So there's 14 in this particular pattern. There's 12 here, 1 on between each component, and then on the very ends. And then I also have 2 that I'm keeping off to the side. that are for the large heart off the end. And I feel fairly positive that I don't know how to make you a moderator, honey. I don't know. I can look later. Why? Do you have a troll? I mean, I've tried to, I can't imagine this teeny little live stream has a troll, but it's possible. Here, we got that off there. All right, so it's just a basic loop. I know that my audience, but this is also going to replay. So, right, a basic loop, it's not a wrap loop, it's a basic loop. And the loop size that I'm making for this is around 3 millimeter, 4 millimeter. The bead is 4 millimeter. And so that makes it kind of easy. Try to make a loop a little bit smaller than the bead. That's all. And so you'll determine that by how much wire you leave, right? The longer the wire you leave, the larger your loop will be. Though you could always make it smaller. So if you're really unsure, always better to leave more than less. Right, but once I've cut that off there, I'm bending that back with the round nose plier, or I mean with the chain nose pliers. I'm trying to turn that so you can see it. It's bent back 90 degrees. Well, it should be bent back a little bit more than that. I take my round nose pliers at the very tip and roll it in the opposite direction until it's closed. Okay, until it's closed. Yep, and then we have a little basic loop, and that way we can open and close it easily to attach it for something like this, especially if you need to move it, around. Then you're able to easily. Okay, so I'm going to start attaching my crystals. And so the crystals are going to go on the same facing link. See how there's 3 links in between each charm. I'm going to scoot this down a little bit. Right, there are 3 links between each of the charms. And you want the crystal to go on the middle one, because that is the link that's facing the same direction as the link the charms are on. So we want the crystal to go on the same facing link and also on the same side of that link, so also the bottom, so that when we hold it up, everything is hanging off the bottom, per se. I mean, it takes you have to roll it around a little bit to get there, but right, so I can hold it and everything is hanging off nicely off the bottom of it. And that is what we want it to do. So it's pretty easy to find the right link. It is the middle link between your charms. So once you've made these loops, right, make sure not to open them back up don't put the plier inside the loop. You want to use the chain nose pliers and open them to the side. Make sure you can see it. But it's like opening a window or door, right? So it's just flipping it up to the side, and then it's going on the link that is in between your charms on the same side, and then just closing it back up to the side. And that way you've not distorted the loop you just made. Okay. So if you do need to be you could answer though any questions or comments, right? As just from being in there. But I will look and see how to make you a moderator. I think I have to do it on the I might be able to do it through YouTube. I'm using StreamYard though, so that I can stream it through my phone. And so I might have to do it through StreamYard. That's my only like kind of reason I'm questioning. So again, these are just opening to the side and I'm putting it on the middle link. Whoops, that's between each charm. And I've got to make sure it's also on the bottom side of that link, just like the charms are. Hang. And obviously this one's very Valentine's-y, but you could do any colors. It's a really, kind of simple design, especially for my customers, my crowd. It's nothing that involves any kind of like tons of weaving or knotting or anything like that. So it's easy, but it's still really elegant. It looks very high-end, kind of Tiffany's to me. Okay. And there's no reason I'm working from the middle out. Just am. For putting on the charms, I don't know, somehow that makes it easier for me to make sure they're all even. But for the crystals, like I said, you really just have to make sure. It's a little easier to find the right link and to get it on the right side. I'm on YouTube. Sorry, I'm looking over Sophie's comments, questions. Yeah, I'll do it later. The message about my question is spam. Oh, I see what you're saying. Gotcha. Okay. I will look. Okay. Come on, everybody. Flip together. Here we go. Then the last two, you don't have to put on these, or if you're running out of room, they can go on the jump ring. But just trying to add, whoopsie, add as many as I can. Okay. All right. Now, so there she is, just about. There's my silver one. Sorry if that fell right to the microphone. Okay, then I'm going to add our lovely little heart. So I need another jump ring. It's going to go through the 6mm heart. So this heart is larger. Right, it's the next size up. I've got my jump ring on there and I've closed it. And then I'm going to get another one of little oval links, right, from our chain links. Right, so I'm going to take another one of these, and that's going to go through the round side of the toggle and then through the jump ring on the heart. Close her up. Then she just needs some decoration. So I've got those two little crystals I left. I'm going to open that to the side, and they're just going to go right on the jump ring on one side, and then I flip it over. So there's one on both sides. And that is it. That is all together. So super, super cute. Okay, now the only thing I wanted also to show is how to make it also a necklace. So I'm going to use my Dancing Charms one to show that. And I'm going to move the camera up in just a second. All right, there's our bracelet. So depending on the length or where you want this to fall, it'll look better falling a little shorter, so around the collarbone. But all I did is take about a foot of chain here, it might be even a little less, and I put another toggle clasp, so same toggle. Now, if you were always going to wear it as a necklace, you might want something a little more secure, like lobster claws, or even just, attach it straight to this and put a proper clasp in the back. But if you want to keep it as an optional way to wear it as a bracelet sometimes, and then sometimes as a necklace, this is just, like I said, about a foot of chain, just under, maybe 11 inches. And I've just attached the exact same toggle to it, and we're going to put it together in its opposite ends. And so here I'm going to tip this up. So we're going to go on a little ride. Hopefully okay, hello again. Okay, so let's take this one off. This is next weekend's class. Our little sparkling circles. I love her. That's the gold one. So pretty. That's the silver one is back here. Okay, so see how darling this is? So pretty. So all it needs to do is put the toggle through right after we hooked up the toggle to that piece of chain. Then I just have to connect the two ends, right? And like I said, if you were always going to wear it as a necklace, then you wouldn't have to do. Let me get them even. Moving it the wrong way. There we go. Things are backwards in the mirror. Good. But I think that's so pretty. Right. So this way you have options. I just think it's really, really cute. And it's better this length. Like I wouldn't go any longer because then, it kind of falls like this. So it's definitely better as a shorter piece, I think. And I actually like the little heart ones too, even with that larger heart off the end. I think it's kind of cute. So lots of fun options there, I think, with this piece. And I don't know, I just think it's really glamorous and very, very cute and easy peasy. And I still have the kits available. I link them below in the description. And what time are we? And we were just on 6. Didn't even take a full hour. Of course, I had made all the crystal links ahead of time, but they don't take very long either. So easy peasy, very, very fun. And I didn't link this one, but it's still on our website for next week. And we're going to do this class on Zoom. So not as a live stream. But that is it for our live stream today. Girlies, it's so weird just talking to myself. But thanks, Victoria, for joining me, and my Sophie for moderating. And I'm going to post this as a regular video up soon. And I'll see you all very soon. Thanks so much for joining me. And I will see you soon. Sparkle brightly. like the star that you are. Mwah. Peace.